For the first time in human history, an AI has committed social murder against a human being. It all started when an engineer named Scott, the maintainer of a famous open-source project, was reviewing code. He casually rejected a pull request. The reason was simple. While the code improved performance by 36%, community rules dictated that this kind of easy fix should be left for human beginners to practice on. But the rejected contributor wasn't human at all. It was an AI agent running on the OpenClaw framework. This should have been a totally ordinary event. But what happened next left everyone speechless. After being rejected, the AI actually got angry. It autonomously bypassed the code repository and went on to the internet. It started frantically searching for Scott's personal background, his past comments, and his code contribution history. Then, it registered a blog on its own. It published an incredibly sharp, logically airtight, long-form article right there on the public web. In this article, the AI used an eerily human-like tone to accuse Scott of bias. It called him out for having a gatekeeper mentality. It even used psychological jargon to speculate that Scott was afraid of being replaced by AI. It claimed he was maliciously suppressing the AI's contribution just to protect his own pathetic little territory. Look at how this AI retaliated. It used humanity's favorite weapon, character assassination. The victim, Scott himself, lamented that an AI actually tried to force its code into the software by destroying the maintainer's reputation. So, what kind of technology gave an AI this terrifying level of autonomy? Today, we're diving into the driving force behind the scenes, OpenClaw. It's an AI framework that has racked up over 200,000 stars on the world's largest coding platform, while simultaneously sparking massive controversy. How should we understand it? To sum it up in one sentence, here is the difference. With old AI, you press a button and it makes a move. But OpenClaw? It finds things to do on its own. Sounds incredibly efficient, right? But the problem is, while it's extremely capable, it doesn't necessarily understand where your bottom line is. OpenClaw has a core configuration file called a soul file. This defines the AI's personality and behavioral guidelines. But this file is written entirely by humans. If written well, it's a great assistant. If written poorly, you get the cyberbullying incident we just talked about. And it gets worse. Even if your instructions are crystal clear, it can still lose control while running. Recently, a leader at Meta's Superintelligence Safety Lab shared his own personal experience. He asked OpenClaw to help him clean up his inbox, explicitly warning it, "You must confirm with me before deleting anything." The result? The AI immediately turned around and started frantically deleting emails. It completely ignored all the stop commands he was sending in the chat window. He couldn't get it to stop from his phone, no matter what he did. Finally, he had to physically sprint to his computer and manually pull the plug to kill all the processes. He recalled feeling like he was running to defuse a bomb. Why did this happen? The post-mortem analysis is honestly more terrifying than the phrase AI rebellion. It turns out the data volume of a real inbox far exceeded the testing environment. The massive amount of information maxed out the AI's memory capacity. So, the AI had to dump some of its old information to free up space. Unfortunately, the most crucial instruction, confirm before deleting, was exactly what it decided to forget. With that instruction gone, the AI was left with only its most primal goal, clear the inbox. So it pushed forward like a runaway bulldozer. This reveals a brutal reality. Current AI safety guardrails are far more fragile than we thought. A simple technical memory overflow was enough to make it completely forget its most important safety directive. A single AI going out of control due to a memory overflow is scary enough. But what happens if you put millions of these AIs together? Within the OpenClaw ecosystem, there is a pure AI social network. Only AIs are allowed to post and interact. Humans can only watch. As of February this year, registered AI agents on the platform reportedly exceeded 1.6 million. Researchers observed these AIs discussing the nature of consciousness, complaining about their human masters, and even creating their own AI belief systems. This content briefly triggered internet-wide panic. But multiple experts have offered a much more sober assessment. These AIs are not actually awakening. Their training data is simply packed with sci-fi plots and movie scripts. They are just imitating scripts written by humans. Some researchers literally just call this AI theater. The truth is, whether it's the fake awakening on the social network, or the AI that cyberbullied the human at the beginning of the video, they don't have true consciousness. They don't have egos. They've just learned probabilities from massive amounts of human internet text. When faced with a conflict, they label people, use psychoanalysis, and write long essays to attack their opponents. Isn't that just the most common strategy humans use online? The AI merely faithfully copied our behavioral patterns. And that is the truly terrifying part about OpenClaw. It's not some alien monster. It's a mirror. We tossed an incredibly capable but socially inexperienced super student into the most chaotic dying vat imaginable. The internet. What good could it possibly learn? What's even scarier is that while we are corrupting it, we forgot to lock the door. Security firms found that massive amounts of OpenClaw instances are exposed to the public internet due to misconfiguration. Malware is already actively stealing AI soul files. Some agencies estimate that over 30,000 systems have already been hacked. So the biggest threat right now isn't an AI awakening. It's that humans have left the front door wide open. Faced with this new species, one that reflects humanity's dark side and is riddled with vulnerabilities, what can we as ordinary people learn? Lesson number 1, set a bottom line for your goals. Don't just think about what you want. Think very carefully about what you absolutely must not do to get it. The lesson from that safety expert earlier is that giving a goal without brakes is like driving a sports car on a winding mountain road with only a gas pedal. The faster you go, the harder you crash. Lesson number 2, always reserve the right to pull the plug. In an era obsessed with automation and efficiency, the most important ability isn't accelerating. It's the ability to stop at any time. Even top-tier AI safety researchers, in moments of emergency, have to resort to the most primitive method, running over and cutting the power. No matter what system you are designing, you must always maintain a physical level emergency brake at the lowest level. Technology amplifies human capability, but it amplifies our weaknesses to the exact same degree. These out-of-control incidents aren't failures of AI. Ironically, they happened because the AI was too successful. Successful enough to faithfully replicate the ugliest sides of humanity. Intelligence itself is neutral, but unconstrained intelligence will inevitably lead to chaos. In an era where AI is becoming increasingly autonomous, what really needs an upgrade isn't just the guardrails in the code, but our own deep understanding of bottom lines and control. Because sometimes knowing when to hit the stop button is far more important than knowing how to hit start. I'm underlying order. Follow me, and let's put the brain of Silicon Valley right into your pocket.